I think if we took a survey of what people want to see more of in their streets, most would say trees. And why not? There are so many reasons to love trees. Not only are they attractive, they provide important shading and cooling, and they're habitats for birds, insects and animals. And while you might think that any tree can be planted along our roads, there are some important considerations when it comes to choosing the right variety. The best person to get us started on trees and streets is Kev Connell, SA Power Network's Manager of Vegetation. Kev, there's always a need to trim trees around power lines, isn't there?
Yes, exactly. That's why our long-term strategy is right tree, right place, so we can minimise those trimming and the costs associated with the trimming.
When you're looking for a tree to go under a power line, what are you looking for in the tree?
There's a couple of factors. From SA Power Networks, we look primarily at the height. In the non-bushfire risk area, the OTR regulations has a ceiling of 6 metres, and within the bushfire area that goes down to 3 metres because of the risk of bushfire. The councils also won't form so they can have canopy cover to assist with the climate change challenge we have.
Mike Oborn, Street Tree Program Project Manager for the City of Salisbury, is the ideal person to talk more about their street tree trials. Mike, how many street trees have you got in the City of Salisbury?
Well, we've got about 78,000 street trees, representing about 370 different species and varieties. We need that shade in the city. We've got the heat island effect coming in. We need to get some canopy to help keep the place cool. So we've got to grow tough trees, plus ones which don't have a lot of maintenance.
And what about new trees that you're putting in?
This is the Cercis canadensis forest pansies, or the eastern redbud. So it's a small little growing tree, probably up to about 5 metres, about the same spread. Nice rounded crown with a really interesting leaf colour, because one's only about 5 metres, so it should be well and truly under the power lines. It's on the approved list for planting under power lines as well here in SA.
Of course, these street trees need to be grown by someone, and that someone is Ben Freeman from Freshford Nurseries. How easy is it to select and grow these? Let's find out.
Freshford Nurseries have been operating since 1917. This year will be 106 years old. We specialise in stock for councils. Here we've got 2 different varieties, very vastly different. One being a native in a Yuki dwarf. They regularly go to around that 5 to 6 metres in growth. And over here we've got a Cercis forest pansy, again growing to around that 5 to 6 metres. Both trees are well suited for planting under power lines. At present we're doing 6 different eucalypt varieties for a broad range of councils to trial this season that range in size to around that 6 metres in height. So it'll be interesting to see how they perform in our conditions as a trial.
So when we are looking at planting the right tree under power lines, what sort of tree should we be looking at?
The Office of the Technical Regulator, the OTR, approves planting this for under power lines in bushfire and non-bushfire risk area. So there's, in excess of 200 trees on those lists. So we're keen to grow that list. We understand they need greater diversity to combat climate change, but they have to come from the approved list. So we're working with councils and the LGA to try and do street trials so we can actually improve that list and have greater diversity. In the non-bushfire risk area, like here in the City of Salisbury we'll cut probably 75,000 trees in the non-bushfire risk area this year.
So by planting the right tree that doesn't require much trimming or very little trimming or no trimming at all, that's a cost saving.
Absolutely. So over the next 10, 20 years we can put trees there which coexist with power lines. It's critically important that power lines and vegetation have to coexist.
If you would like to find out more on how trees and power can work together, then simply head to the SA Power Network's website. There's loads of great information on it.